Hey guys, Bob here from Raw Strength and Muscle, and today we're going to talk about the time that Chuck Norris almost saved my life. And the way he did it is with this book right here, The Secret of Inner Strength, My Story, written in 1988. I read it in 1988, and this contains all of the secrets of the law of attraction. This is a legitimate blueprint on exactly how to set your life up for success in all areas. And I slept on it, okay? Everybody knows I'm a big fan of the law of attraction. And when I learn and teach the law of attraction, I don't just use the classics like Think and Grow Rich, the Master Key System, the Science of Getting Rich. I like to use books like this and Arnold Schwarzenegger's Total Recall, his autobiography, where he talks about how he went from a little village post-war Austria to being a champion bodybuilder, coming to America, living his dream, becoming a real estate millionaire before he became the highest paid actor in the world, before he held the highest political position that a foreigner could hold. And he did all of that through the law of attraction. Well, this book is even better, in my opinion, or at least it resonates more with me in terms of the law of attraction. And if I had allowed this book to really impress upon me the law of attraction when I was a child, my life would have been completely different. Now I'm 48. I'm finally pulling my head out of my ass. I'm finally making things happen in my life. And once again, I'm revisiting this book. Okay, out of print, get it on Amazon, used. I paid $10. I just looked at it. Originally cost $16.95, so it's actually cheaper than it was when I bought it in 1988. But this book has all of the secrets that you need to be successful. When I first read this, I was a kid. I was living primarily with my grandparents. Everybody around me was negative. My grandparents came from the Depression area. My mother, her two sisters were Depression children, like their parents grew up in the Depression. So everybody around me was negative. Nobody around me had any big dreams, any big goals. And if somebody did something well, somebody excelled, at the same time, they really respected that and they were like really jealous, but at the same time they tore them down and they never tried to do anything themselves. So for me, basically to get love or acceptance, I had to be a negative person. Imagine being a little kid looking for love and you're surrounded by internet trolls. And all that, the only way you could get acceptance, the only way that you could get love is to be an internet troll yourself. So I slept on this book. I did not get the information that could have changed my life completely. If I had thought my own thoughts, not been fed so much BS, I would have had the opportunity to really live an incredible, incredible life that not only ended up in a wonderful place, but actually every step of the way just got better and better. It was an exciting adventure, as Mr. Nightingale used to say. Now, to go ahead and explain how this happened, basically, this book talks about how he grew up. He didn't have a whole lot of money. He joined the Air Force because what the fuck else is he going to do with his life? He ended up getting stationed in Korea. Okay, getting stationed in Korea, instead of hanging out on Hooker Hill and getting drunk every night, he actually was walking around somewhere and just happened to see people appearing over a hill. And he's like, what the hell is this? Like, people pop up and disappear. So he walks over the hill and he sees a bunch of guys doing Korean karate, Tang Soo Do, okay, outside in a field. And he's like, what's up with this shit? Like, how do I get involved with this shit? Well, back then, they were really fucking hardcore. So basically, he had to go in there and he had to prove himself. They basically tried to make him quit. They treated him like crap. And he stayed there. He didn't give up. And he ended up getting his black belt. Okay. His job was, I think he was like a driver for visiting people, officers, whatever. At that point, he realized that a friend of his who was talkative, he'd drive people around and be like, hey, sir, how's it going? Da, 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 da. He's like, that's not his style. He's not the kind of person who talks and makes bullshit and small talk. But he also noticed the other guy was getting promoted ahead of him. So he's like, well, I need to go ahead and do that too and talk to them. And when they see my boss, they're like, oh, that's a great guy, man. The way he talks, he's like, you really have somebody there. He's really going places. Boom, let's promote him. So that's basically what he did. He learned, he got a black belt in Korean karate. And he, learned social skills, how to deal with people, customers, whatever, when he was working in the Air Force in Korea. Came home, got a job with the police department, patrolling around an office on his desk. Okay, he wasn't, I don't think he was like an actual, like, beat police officer. And he was kind of doing okay, but he really wanted to teach karate, okay? So he started teaching karate on the side, and he had a goal of having like his own school running to the point that he could do that full time. And one of the things he did was, well, if I go ahead and win a karate tournament, maybe my name will be in a paper. And if my name is in a paper, that's free publicity. I'll get more students. I get more students, then I could quit this job. Then I could work full time on my karate school, and then I could get more and more students. So basically, he was like, hey, Tang Sudo, let me go ahead and give this a try. They tried to break him down. He's like, no, I'm going to do this. Boom, black belt, came back, got a job. Boom, started building a school. Boom, built a school. He just got into karate tournaments to find a way to publicize his school. It worked. Now he's getting well known across the entire country as an up-and-coming karate fighter at tournaments. Plus, he's running his school. He quit his job as a cop. Now, all of a sudden, he's doing pretty well. At one point, he had an investor come up and he's like, hey, man, let's go ahead and let's make this big. Let's open up a chain of schools. And he actually opened up a chain of schools. And he's like, I always thought I was a big shot. I'm driving a Cadillac. I got all these schools. I just drive into the office and, sit in the office all day and, run things. His schools kind of started to go downhill because he wasn't keeping an eye on them. So he's like, he went back and he would just visit his schools. He'd teach them. He'd teach the instructors, and he built his schools back up to where they were making money. He ended up hanging out. He was Priscilla Presley's karate instructor, because Elvis Presley's karate instructor was his friend and bodyguard, Ed Parker. So she didn't want to train with him. So she trained with Chuck Norris. He started hanging out with Hollywood actors. They were training with him. He started to get well known. So now he's well known as a karate fighter, got established schools, getting to know like the rich and famous people around California. Boom. He gets a couple small roles in movies, and then he sells himself to become an actor. And what he basically did is he walked into a room with a bunch of producers and he's like, check this out. I'm Chuck Norris. Every person that does karate in the United States, and there are so many hundred thousands, millions, whatever of them, everybody knows who I am. If I'm in a movie, they will go and see that movie and buy tickets just because I'm in it. And they're excited to see me, and they're excited to see a fellow karate fighter in a movie. So you automatically sold all these tickets. And they're like, basically like, fuck, like that's actually a pretty fucking good deal. Okay. So that's how he got his shit. He didn't just get plucked up by Jesus Christ and given a contract to be in movies or something like that. Like I said, karate, black belt, treated him like shit, fought through it, came back, school on the side while he was working as a cop. Then he did his school. Then he got an investor. Then he had to go ahead and fix his schools. Now all of a sudden he's pitching in front of all these movie producers. Everything that he did built up to where he was, where he became an actor. Okay, and every single thing that he did built upon the next. All he knew was, I need a job. I'm going to join the Air Force. He goes to Korea. I have some free time. I'm going to learn karate. He learned karate. I want to teach karate, but got to do a job. How do I go ahead and teach karate full time? I get more students. How do I get more students? Publicity. How do I get free publicity? Being in karate tournaments. Now all of a sudden he has this dream job, owns his business, owns multiple schools with his business partner. He's got, he's well known as a tournament guy, and now he's getting into movies. He was in there at the right time. I mean, these days people say if you want to sell a book or if you want to do something, you need to have social media. Well, him fighting in karate basically was his social media. The Rock can say, buy these earphones from Under Armour, buy this, t-shirt, these shorts from Under Armour, and it will sell out immediately because he's The Rock. He's got 1 million people who follow him on Instagram, 1 million people who follow him on Twitter, 1 million people here and 1 million people there, And like people say, if you want to sell a book, they want to know, like, how are you going to sell the book? Well, I got a blog that's being read by 1 million people a day. Okay, great. So you go ahead and we'll publish your book. You put it out on your blog. Everybody buys it. We're all happy. Okay. And that's legitimately what he did. These days, you don't go to a karate tournament and become an actor, but it's still the same thing. What The Rock is doing by becoming, by being a small-time wrestler, then he became a famous wrestler, which got him into movies. And now he's got his movies, which got him into social media. Now he's got the social media so he can sell anything. Hey, I came out with a new energy drink. Buy it. Boom. Next day, everybody buys his energy drink because he built himself up. And this is exactly what Chuck Norris did. And this is exactly what Chuck Norris taught in this book. Okay? But like I said, he did it a little step at a time. He enjoyed being in the Air Force. He enjoyed learning karate. He enjoyed doing his karate school on the side as a cop. He enjoyed doing his karate school full time. He enjoyed having his chain of schools. He enjoyed going to tournaments, and he enjoyed being an actor. Okay, so he actually not just got to become a big famous actor and a rich person, but during the whole path, he actually always improved and always enjoyed. He was happy where he was, but he found the next step, got excited, did the next step, enjoyed that more, got the next step, got excited, enjoyed that more. So it was just an upward spiral as opposed to the downward spiral that most people have when they leave high school or college and life just goes to shit from there and they get fatter and they get weaker and broker and less happy in the relationship and less happy with their lives. His was an upward spiral. And that's what you learn from this book. So read the goddamn book, seriously. Buy it used from Amazon or something. Like I said, this is really, he calls it the secret of inner strength. This is really the law of attraction at work, because you get to see as what the master does. And I'm not talking about the karate master, I'm talking about the master of the law of attraction. I mean, imagine if, let's say, John Jones, Conor McGregor or somebody were to go ahead and be like, hey, check this out. Movie producer, everybody knows who the fuck I am. I am going to go ahead and be in your movie, and everybody's going to buy a ticket. Every Irish person in the world is going to buy a ticket to watch Conor McGregor in a movie. Boom. Okay. And, like I said, this is legitimately exactly what's happening. Conor McGregor says, buy my whiskey. People bought his whiskey. He was partners with somebody else. He sold the goddamn whiskey. They made it. Then he sold his part in this company for massive cash. Okay. Why? Because he dropped out of being an amateur. He was an apprentice plumber, dropped out of his apprenticeship, was living from welfare, was living on his trainer's couch, sleeping in his trainer's school, sleeping in his mom's house with his girlfriend, okay, making 500 fucking pounds to fight in Cage Warriors, became the dual champion of Cage Warriors, got a UFC contract, started coming out big in the UFC, and then boom, all of a sudden, the world's his fucking oyster. And then you even have these kids coming up in the UFC who are starting to realize this as well. I mean, there are some kids in the UFC right now who were complaining about money, but they realize that they could monetize the fact that they are well known. They could monetize the fact that they have a completely distinct personality. And no matter how much money they make from fighting, if they sell their own t-shirts instead of using, selling the t-shirts from Venom or Reebok and getting a 1% cut, they can make massive cash. And the fucking money they actually make for fighting is nothing, because they're businessmen, not because they are businesses, man, not businessmen. As I believe JC said, I'm not a businessman. I am a business. And that's exactly what the kids are learning these days. But you could have learned it if you read this book in 1988, which I did, and I never fucking really used. So the point is, like I said, read this book. It is an incredible book about an incredible guy. I loved reading this story. I loved reading. He talks about his workouts here when he was 50, which is my age almost. Okay, he talks about, every movie that he was in. He talks about a lot of things. It was a very fun book, like Sly Moves, okay, where it basically talks a lot about his life. And I found that extremely interesting. But even if you don't like Chuck Norris and you don't care about this, read this and see how somebody created his own life. Okay, you might create a completely different life, but the fact is he stayed positive. He always set goals. He was happy where he was at, but he was excited to see what the world would bring him in the future. And his whole life, he just moved up and up and up and up and up. And he became Chuck Norris. So, like I said, definitely read this book, whether you like the guy or not. Let me know down below if you read this book. Let me know down below if you knew any of that about Chuck Norris. Let me know down below if there are any other books that you personally think embody the law of attraction, because I would certainly hit them up if I knew about them. And aside from that, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.